Gemini, what is going on? Thank you so much for tuning in. I am Deborah. This is Purusha Intuitive, and we're going to be looking at your energy for the next couple weeks. So let's get into it. I hope all is going well in your world. When I'm recording this, we are just coming off of Mercury retrograde. We also had a full moon in Scorpio. And, we moved into Taurus season. That was the other thing I forgot. So I'm just going to take a second to cleanse out the energy as I normally do. It's just a great way to set intention, set the tone for our reading. There has been a lot going on. As I mentioned, a couple of these things beforehand, astrologically, that we've been facing. And so we're in this space right now where we're really trying to cleanse and purge and make the right decisions that truly honor us. Not always, or easier said than done. It is easier said than done. So let's take a second. If you have any questions that you want Spirit to answer right now, is a great time to open up, ask for those, receive those. I will do this blessing and then we will move forward. All right. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for our highest and best. Blocks, obstacles, fear, doubt, uncertainty. Remove those, Father God, Spirit guides. Help make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama Love. Smoky today, Gemini, for you. All right, amen. All right, so welcome in. It has been a little bit rocky, there's a lot of changes that are happening, and it's basically forcing us to empower ourselves. When we enter into Taurus season, it is a way to bring that empowerment into manifestation, into our day-to-day living. So yes, we have to focus on self, which Aries season is all about. And then we start looking at partnerships and our dynamics, our environment, how those things show up for us. Spirit is really asking you to listen to your gut instincts. Believe in the magic of life is what I was hearing as I was preparing for your video, Gemini. And I look at this like in a very practical way. It really is just about the law of attraction. It's where we put our mind, where we put our energy. That is what allows the magic to unfold. Recognizing that limitation is only as powerful as we allow it to be, right? Yes, something could go horribly wrong, but there's like a 50% chance it won't, right? So there's this value of really being able to believe and cling on to your truth, not to sound ambiguous, but in the way that you're not afraid to take chances and really live the life that you want to live. It's hard to see that right now because we are in the grunt and grind. We are in this space where we're seeing a lot of the things that aren't working, and it's getting very annoying, unfortunately. So I love this, so powerful. Just confirming what I was saying, ether element. This is all about tapping into those subtler layers of consciousness. If we look at Ayurveda, for instance, and the journey of consciousness, which is just basically talking about how we bring things into manifestation, this is the first element that it moves through. And this is connected with spirit, connecting with that intuitive part of ourselves. Whether we understand that as a being, spirit, universe, God, or something that's still small voice from within, however it resonates for you, Spirit is really asking you to be a little bit more conscious and mindful and think things through. Don't let it go too far one way or the other is what I'm hearing. Yes, that caters to imbalance, but I feel like it's really just kind of throwing you off course. If something good is happening and it's going your way, it's like the best thing ever, which I hope for you, obviously. I want you to have great things, but there's also this value of like not getting too wrapped up or your hopes, your expectations up too high. And just alike, not going the reverse way, right? Of like taking something that might not be palatable and making it worst case scenario. Because there's always going to be duality in life. There's always going to be things that show up that we don't like, that we don't really want to deal with. And you know, a lot of those things we really don't have to deal with, you know, if we're honest. It is picking and choosing where we invest our energy instead of sitting and stewing on why something doesn't want to do something with us, doesn't want to work with us, blah, blah, blah. You know, this is about actually just saying like, okay, that's their choice and I'm going to move on. I'm going to do what's best for me. And what is unfolding for you, Gemini, is this value of really tapping into this part of yourself that I feel like you've forgotten about or you have hidden underneath all these layers of bullshit. People, places, and things, drama, things that are not in alignment with you, things that you don't really want to be a part of. As you peel that stuff away, as you kind of listen to your inner instincts, think things through on a more rational level, it's uncovering this beauty that's kind of been hidden, that feels peaceful. It feels more heart honoring. It feels like it's something that spirit, yeah, I love this. I was actually seeing this individuation card as I was shuffling. It is something that's setting you apart from the rest. And you're ready for it. You know, I do feel that very strongly for you, Gemini. You're ready to kind of separate yourself. Taurus had a similar energy in terms of like separating from the crowd, not needing to have a lot of validation. Unfortunately, we are getting tested and triggered right now on the emotional front in a lot of different ways, especially around things that are very important to us, that we care about deeply. Relationships are heavily in focus, and we need to be able to better understand where we need to put our time and our energy, and what is really just hasn't been working for a long time. A long enough time where you need to be honest about what that actually looks like for you, Gemini. All right, let's get into it. Oh yeah. As I was saying that and shuffling, the Tower pops out. So there is something rumbling underneath the surface. I feel like this Tower moment hasn't happened yet. I feel like you're still kind of in this phase of like knowing it's coming to head, but not really certain how it's all going to play out. And there is a lot of fear around this. Whether you or having a conversation is the catalyst, or if this is more just like things that are happening in the environment that you can just like feel the energy, something is going to set this afire, is what I'm hearing. Take it how it fits. If it doesn't fit for your situation, just definitely leave it for someone else. Obviously, these are collective readings. And as a side note, I do personal readings, so hit me up if you want me to look at your situation specifically. I love to help and support always. This is you being in that vibration of like not wanting to deal with the bullshit anymore. Really like ready to walk away from it, ready to leave it behind and not even look at it anymore, right? Where maybe it has been stuff that has entrapped your emotions for quite some time. It's like you're over it. You're over it, over and done with. With this Six of Cups energy, it talks about this has been something that you've been dealing with for a minute. It's not just the past couple weeks. It's actually just something that has been really heavy. It's been really overwhelming. Aries energy in your environment. So dealing with someone who's like being an asshole and not even paying attention to you is what I'm hearing. Like, not even paying attention to your wants and your needs. Really kind of just marching to the beat of their own drum. Yeah, being shady pants McGee. Left and right. The Emperor with the Seven of Swords. You can't get more low vibey than that. Hopefully the devil will come out for them too. No, I'm not wishing ill will on everyone. You know, we all have those shadow parts of our side, of ourselves. So I'm not ever trying to throw shade at anyone. It's just a very low vibey energy. It's just someone who doesn't really care. And here you are, all filled with love and kindness and wanting things to be happy and beautiful. And this person like can't even pay attention to that because they're too busy doing God knows what behind the scenes. And it feels pretty shady, right? Seven of Swords is that energy of lying, deceit, trickery, stealing, right? Stealing that sword. And it's for like, as much as these are difficult situations to be a part of, it's forcing you to rise above and be a better version of yourself. And I'm hearing like pinpoint, actually see and acknowledge what this energy is. Being able to understand it on a deeper level, where maybe before you gave this person a hall pass, now not so much. Now it feels a little bit more like, you know what? I've been around the block with this person X amount of times, and it just doesn't, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, I actually am looking for my own empowerment. I'm looking for the things that feel right, that fit me in the right way. This is knowing who you are, who you are as an empowered individual. We all have our own beauty. We all have these amazing aspects of ourselves that need to be expressed, that the world needs to see and needs to hear. And it feels like this person or the situation has put a really heavy damper on things. And as I'm saying this, it's like I'm feeling a lot of anxiety, I'm feeling a lot of fear and a lot of repression. Like almost as if someone's sitting on my chest. And it feels like, you know, so I just feel like this is something that really takes you out of your element. It doesn't feel like it fits for you. You might know how to placate this energy, keep the peace is what I'm hearing, even when it is bad. But there's this part of you that's just like, I've had enough. It's exhausting. I hear you. I hear you 100%. Spirit's asking you to be a little more gentle with yourself. Trust yourself. Trust what your instincts are picking up. Trust the secrets, right? The things that are behind the curtain with that high priestess energy. You're doubting yourself too much, and it makes a lot of sense with this type of individual because they will try to control, manipulate, gaslight the situation. Spirit's asking you not to fall prey to it. Again, that first energy, the most powerful energy for your reading, trusting your instincts. Trusting those little holes, right? The holes that you're seeing into, reading between the lines. And not like I'm trying to like say overly scrutinize or criticize people. You'll know who this energy is if this resonates for you. Because this is someone who's just a very difficult person and red flags all over the place. And right now it might be easier not to acknowledge that because of, because you know what's coming. You're trying to play nice. Maybe you don't want to be cut off. Maybe this is someone you care about deeply. Maybe you still feel like you can work with the energy in order to get what you want. But you know what's coming. And I think that feels painful as well. And that's the unfortunate thing because with these emotions, it's clouding what your intuition is telling you. You're listening to your intuition, but this does feel really painful. It feels super disappointing. It feels like something you've kind of forgotten about, you released a long time ago, but now it's actually kind of hard to, and there's that Tower as we started out the reading. It's like something you swept under the rug that you didn't really want to look at, that maybe you just kind of turned a blind eye to. Oh, it's all going to work out. How many times do we do that, right? And again, not throwing shade at it, Gemini. We all do it. We all want to believe in the best, in those that are around us, those we have relationships with. But sometimes it's just going to give out. There's been too many things done with this Seven of Cups. There's been too many offenses, is what I'm hearing. This person, this situation took the low road, unfortunately. And it was one thing after another. Or there was a lot of different avenues as to which they created chaos, blocks. And so there is this call for you right now. Magician is Mercury and Gemini energy. There's this call for you really to understand it, to be aware of it, to not be afraid of it, and then say, okay, how am I going to create out of this? Yes, leave those times for disappointment and grief where necessary. We need to release, we need to cry, we need to allow things to come out. But at the same time, making sure that you are pushing forward. The less you can stay in the energy of grief, the easier it's going to be. And I'm not saying to turn off your emotions, but you know that this is toxic, or something about this is incredibly toxic and unhealthy. Even if it is like someone like not doing something wrong, but you always feel drained or exhausted, or you can't do anything wrong, you can't misstep, etc. Those are all signs that something's not quite right in the relationship. And you've been feeling this. I think for a while, for a period of time, things have been okay. It went back to normal, or there was a lot of hiding behaviors, hiding the toxicity. But again, we can only do that for so long, and now it's coming up. And in this way that it's hurting you, it's hurting those around you, it's hurting relationships that you have. And again, even if it's not something you wanted to remind yourself of, at the same time, it needs to get out of the way so you can re-enliven, re-inspire yourself back to who you were. This is someone who's incredibly pushy and difficult, and I love how Spirit is confirming this opportunity for reunion. I'm hearing this as reunion within yourself. This could be a physical individual, or, a situation that is really important to your heart, that feels incredibly heart honoring, that allows you to acknowledge the pain of life, those parts that are very icky, that do feel really heavy when people do make incredibly low vibey choices and choose to hurt others and those in their path, or not care whether they do or not. And you're ready to move on from this. But it's also something that Spirit's asking you to take note of, especially for the future, especially people that you get that you get tied up with in the future. This is a lot about what makes you happy, what makes you thrive. And there might have been some choices made that weren't very happy, you know, or you ended up in this place where it was like, this actually wasn't what I bargained for. This is what I didn't think I was going to get this. And it's hard to deny it at this point. And so I feel like for you, Gemini, over these next couple weeks, you're really just going to be kind of working through this process, learning to trust yourself a little bit more, and then really thinking through, deliberating, well, what am I going to do with this information? It's going to remind you of a lot, and it's also going to give you the power to feel more independent, stronger, not as pushed down by this individual, and it will allow you to really, you know, for lack of a better word, like really just empower yourself, taking that courage, that strength. I love that this is the sword and the stone because it's such a beautiful and prophetic message for you. What no one else can do, you can do, Gemini. Even if it feels overwhelming, even if it feels defeating, Spirit's asking you to listen, trust your instincts. That is going to be the easiest place to get guidance where it doesn't feel so messy and sticky. So, sorry, this is a little heavy. I really appreciate it if you made it this far. I also hope it helps. I hope it gives guidance and insight so that some of these heavier things aren't completely destabilizing. Definitely drop comments below. I'd love to help and support in whatever way possible. Know that I am sending you all the love and blessings as you navigate through. Thank you for your time and energy always. I will talk to you soon.